What's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing back at it with another boxing video. Here to debunk the fallacies, the BS, the lies Dillian Whyte and this promoter Eddie Hearn be trying to put out there for the incompetent people who can't do their own research and think for themselves. All they do is regurgitate what Eddie Hearn says. And guess how they started off their sentences or their conversations? Eddie Hearn says, well, Eddie Hearn says, well, we're here to crumble up those theories and throw them in the trash where they belong. You know what I mean? So Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC president, was on a podcast out there with these guys from England. Guys, what's it called? Like the Black Eye Barbershop now. You know what I mean? The Black Eye Barbershop show, excuse me. Mauricio Suleiman was on there talking to guys like Anthony Crolla. He was talking to Richard Poxon of Poxon Promotions and Johnny Nelson. All right. And Mauricio Suleiman cleared up the lie that the man Dillian Whyte and his promoter Eddie Hearn. And look, man, you sensitive people out there, I talk to y'all. That's why I make these videos. Real talk. I make these videos for y'all. If you feel sensitive some kind of way, I'm glad you do. And I can't do nothing for you, man. You know what I mean? Because you guys are the ones who came out there saying this BS. Now I'm gonna give you the facts, the hard concrete facts, debunk that Dillian Whyte's um, notion that he's been waiting for 900 plus days, 906 days, etc. You guys the one who said this. Now you're gonna get it from the horse's mouth. Nothing but facts, quoted verbatim. You heard? So, like I said, Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC president, was on the podcast there on YouTube called the Black Eye Barbershop with these fellas from England, Johnny Nelson, Richard Poxon, and Anthony Crolla. You know what I'm saying? And he basically debunked the fact that Dillian Whyte became the mandatory, or he became basically he got the WBC silver title when he beat Robert Hellenius. When was that? In 2017, right? You know what I mean? And that's when these people trying to say that's how long Dillian Whyte been waiting to be a mandatory. You know what I mean? Over 3 years. That's not the case. You know what I mean? You know, Dillian Whyte has been the mandatory, um, and he's only been the mandatory for 276 days in total. You know what I mean? He became the mandatory when he beat Oscar Rivas, and that was just 2 fights ago. You know what I'm saying? A fight, remember, he got put on the canvas too. In England, you know what I'm saying, at the O2 Arena. You know what I'm saying? So, Mauricio Suleiman, I'm going to read you some quotes from the man. Um, Quote, Dillian Whyte was never mandatory contender until he defeated Oscar Rivas. All that build up from before when it was 500 days and all those things has no merit. We addressed this with Dillian, with Eddie Hearn, and with his representatives in the right way. We met several times and we offered several alternatives to attend to his wanting to fight for the WBC. And we offered interim titles just to get the thing going. End quote. So Dillian White will get his mandatory shot in 2021. He's actually right now the interim WBC heavyweight champion, but he thinks he's a real heavyweight champion. That shows how deluded he is, you know, because he walks around with a fake WBC belt. Hey, people, I see y'all coming up in the chat. If you don't mind, please hit the thumbs up. You see, when I say that, the cocksuckers, the cowards, man, probably the Dillian White teabaggers, they jump out the room. They get out the room right when I say, please, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up and stop eavesdropping and Just watching B March boxing, man. The motherfucking the thumbs up joint is for free. You know what I'm saying? It's free. It don't cost you nothing. Otherwise, I'll just categorize you as a caterpillar with no spine who can't stand on their own two and come up in mass chat just to eavesdrop, just to hear what I got to say. You probably Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn. That's the people in this joint watching. Anyways, let me continue exposing these clowns. All right. So 2021 is when the guy Dillian Whyte will get his shot at the world title, and he's due to face the winner of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, the third fight. You know what I mean? And Mauricio Suleiman concluded and said, "quote He was number one contender in the past, but now he's the mandatory contender. He's the interim champion, and he's ready for February 21st, 2021. They actually even have a date, or 9 months in advance. Quote: The champion, winner of Fury versus Wilder 3, has to fight Dillian Whyte because he's the mandatory contender. Dillian was supposed to defend against Povetkin. I don't know if that will be postponed or happen later in the year." End quote. So it looks like the man Dillian Whyte will be waiting till 2021. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad Mauricio Suleiman cleared up all the BS, the lies. You know what I'm saying? The nut ass fans out there who don't know nothing about boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because Mauricio Suleiman was basically talking about he says uh that he sent out a tweet on his Twitter of his daughter. You know what I mean? And I guess his daughter was having a birthday party or something. Or he said, quote, "You have to understand that we are not in a situation where we can please every single party. For example, I made a tweet of my daughter, something very positive and nice. But then you got, quote, give Dillian Whyte the shot in every single comment," end quote. You see, those type of people, Mauricio Suleiman don't need to address them. Because if they know they facts, or as a matter of fact, if Mauricio Suleiman's tweeting something positive about his daughter, whatever the case may be, and then people are not even saying, "Wow, congratulations," or "Wow, you have such a beautiful family," or something, and they just jump out there and say, "Make the fight, give Dillian Whyte his mandatory shot." These people should go to the WBC rule book and look and see where how long this guy's been the mandatory. You know what I mean? It's only until he fought Oscar Rivas, and I've been known this. I know the difference, especially in the WBC rankings, from a mandatory and a contender, and the number one contender. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The man, Dillian Whyte, when he beat Hellenius, that's when he received that green belt, the fake green replica WBC belt. You know what I mean? He's been parading around London, I guess the UK, with that belt, claiming he's a heavyweight champion. But who did he beat to become a heavyweight champion? If you think beating Hellenius makes you a heavyweight champion, man, he's going to be in for a rude awakening when it comes to fighting the legit heavyweight champion, whether that'll be Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to talk about Dillian Whyte's flaws and his capabilities right about now. That's for a whole nother video. What's the point? He ain't even fighting no time soon. Not just him. I mean, boxing is on a standstill. But at the end of the day, I just crumbled up the notion, courtesy of quotes from the one Mauricio Suleiman, the president of the WBC, crumbled up them Dillian Whyte's fallacies, and I threw them in the trash. You know what I mean? Just like where all rumors and lies in boxing belong. You know what I mean? Come out here and spit the facts. I ain't give you my opinion. I told y'all the real. Be Marsh Boxing. Leave your thoughts and comments, and I'm out of here. Peace.